Now, can you tell us a bit about how your office is working with universities and the private sector to ensure that this emerging talent that we have in abundance here is adequately skilled and that startups have also access to research and development resources?
Lagos State became the first, and I think is still one of the only states in the country that actively funds startups. And so, over the past 36 months, we funded about 70 startups. And some of them you might know, companies like Price Pally, an agri-tech e-commerce company, companies like Farms to You, also an agri-tech company helping farmers with logistical platforms to bring markets to the farmers. Companies like Givo in circular economy, turning waste to wealth. Companies like TerraWork that do remote working and stuff like that. So we've had quite a bit of involvement over the past 3 years in funding actively. So we have the first structured program in there. And we even fund STEM as well. We were one of the initial funders of STEM Cafe at CC Hub as well. So apart from an active funding environment for startups, we also fund R&D in universities. In fact, Unilag has been one of our biggest beneficiaries of R&D funds. And so when you have research work like AI for medical imaging using convolutional neural networks to read different images so that doctors are able to diagnose ailments faster, and then you have projects in LASU, for instance, that look at how to turn microalgae plankton into biodegradable materials for food packaging so that, plastic consumption is. So all of these kinds of things, the state actually funds actively a lot of them. And some of them are doing very well. In fact, Lagos State last year just started taking, so most of these were equity-free funds. We just started taking equity in certain companies. And the reason we did that is, number one, apart from a return for taxpayers, it's an opportunity for us to drive certain areas of the economy we think are very important, right? When it comes to hardware and things like that. So, and of course, apart from just funding startups, we provide networking solutions as well. Through the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, we have a program called Lagos Innovates that works with about 120 co-working spaces and accelerators and incubators in Lagos. And so when people apply, entrepreneurs, they are looking for resources, they are looking for electricity, internet, to build their businesses, they can apply for what we call a voucher program, where they can apply for a voucher to use at any of those hubs in Lagos. And so they can go there, use it for free. Lagos State pays the hub for the use of the resources. And many other things that we are doing. I think for me, particularly, is the combination between government and the universities to try and incentivize creation, and not just adoption of technology, but creation of technology in Nigeria. And she also mentioned the innovation bill. The idea is that government can't fund everything. It's impossible, right? And we need to incentivize the private sector to fund innovation and R&D. In the US today, 70% of R&D funding comes from the private sector. So the idea is, how do you incentivize academia industry to come closer to academia? So everything the universities do must be demand-driven. They are solving problems in industry. If it's not affecting a private sector company's bottom line, they are really not interested. So there's got to be a kind of synergy to bridge that gap, to say that, look, whatever you're working on in this university, it's going to increase my bottom line, say, over the next 5 to 10 years. So that's how we look at catalyzing the innovation sector.